this is heaven. Relaxing under the hot water, I could feel the fatigue melt away. Phew. I guess this is the only time of day I'll get any peace. I knew it. He just pops up slowly from under the water, still fully dressed. Oh my goodness.
Did you say something?
I could hear Red on the other side of the bathroom door. Nope, nothing at all.
Let me know if you notice anything strange. I'll be there at once.
I appreciate the offer, but I can't have you rushing in here or else you'll see me naked. This time I made sure to keep my voice down so he wouldn't hear. True to his word, Red hadn't left my side for the entire day, although he had at least given me the dignity of remaining faithfully outside the door as I changed and bathed. He's a good guy, though. He was a stubborn man who often took things to their logical extremes, but I could tell he was serious about protecting me from the wolf. Phew, I feel so refreshed. Drying my wet hair, I stepped into the hallway to find Red standing there. Your turn. I gestured to the bathroom, but he shook his head.
I don't mind skipping a day between showers.
Well, I do mind, and I refuse to compromise with you on this issue. I glared up at him, and he looked away.
Very well. I shall briefly borrow your shower.
Sure, go for it. Good job, girl. And so he walked into the newly vacated bathroom. Once he shut the door, I started to head for the living room. But before I got there, I suddenly remembered a critical issue. He doesn't have a towel! I was so used to living here alone, I'd forgotten what it was like to have a guest over. Without a towel, Red would be forced to drip dry. I turned and headed for the linen closet. Kaguya, where are you? Am I really here alone this time? Back at the bathroom. Red, are you already in the tub? Carrying a fresh towel over one arm, I knocked on the door. No response. Can I come in? Oh gosh, but what if he's in the middle of changing? I pressed my ear to the door, but couldn't hear anything. Convinced that he must already be in the tub, I put my hand on the doorknob. I'm coming in. Whoa! All of a sudden, the door whipped open and I staggered forward.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I hastily straightened up. Sure enough, he was completely clothed. What the... How did you finish that quickly? Or did you not get in yet?
I finished. It was very refreshing.
How? How could he have finished within the few minutes it took me to get to the linen closet and back? Talk about a quick dip. Upon further inspection, I noticed that the strands of hair peeking out from under his hood were dripping wet. You're soaked! Sure enough, here he is drip drying.
I apologize. I couldn't seem to find a towel.
Please, use this. I put the towel over his head and moved to dry him off. But instead, he jerked away from me, taking the towel with him. I can't blame him for that reaction.
I can do it myself, thank you.
Okay. With nothing left for my hand to do, I lowered it awkwardly. Meanwhile, Red reached under his riding hood to dry himself off, a feat that took considerable talent. Then he looked at the floor in surprise.
There is a lot of water on the floor. I apologize. I'll wipe it up later.
Don't worry about it. I can take care of it.
But...
Your first priority should be to get those clothes dry. Go stand by the living room fireplace.
Very well.
Once the bathroom was all cleaned up, I returned to the living room to find Red kneeling by the hearth. Here, drink this. It'll warm you up. I offered him the mug in my hand.
I never asked for a drink.
Consider it a little freebie.
Thank you. It smells lovely. Like flowers.
It's chamomile tea. Do you like it?
I suppose.
He lowered his gaze to the mug of tea. Interesting. I hadn't expected that. I didn't know many guys who liked herbal tea. My brother had once called it disgusting, and I certainly wasn't expecting Red to be one of them. I'm like the opposite. I think every guy I know likes herbal tea. Yo guys, in the comments. If you're a dude, do you enjoy a nice cup of herbal tea? What's your favorite? When I sat down next to him, he scooted a few inches away. This gesture actually hurt my feelings quite a bit, but I was never going to survive this forced cohabitation if I let these microaggressions get to me. Instead, I scrutinized him, looking for potential topics of conversation. The glow of the fire gently illuminated his face. Drinking herbal tea while listening to the crackle of the firewood. This is the life. Are your clothes dry?
They are now, thank you.
He spoke without looking at me. That's good. But just so we're clear, you'd better sleep in the house tonight, okay?
But...
When he finally turned to look at me, I offered him a bright smile. On the off chance you were to get pneumonia, it would impact your work performance. Over the course of our short time together thus far, I had learned to appeal to his rationality. This is true. Sure enough, he pursed his lips, then sighed.
You're right. Very well. I apologize for being such a burden. Going forward, I will try not to disgrace myself like this again.
Relax, would you? I shook my head. You don't need to be so stiff with me. It's just going to make me feel awkward.
I'll work on it.
Thank you. Sitting at my vanity, I was brushing my hair when I heard a knock at the door. Come in!
Pardon the intrusion.
As soon as he walked in, Red went to open the window and check outside. A gust of cool night air rushed into the room, sending my sleepiness packing.
I patrolled around the perimeter, but didn't notice any unusual activity.
Gotcha. Thanks. He closed the window. Meanwhile, I turned around in my chair to face him. So, are you going to spend the night in my room? Why would I ask him that? Because he was the one who suggested it, of course. Hard to believe, isn't it? First he claimed he was going to sleep outside, and now this. Well, you might as well get comfy on the bed. You can't protect me any closer than being in the same bed.
Of course. Is there a problem?
He looked at me like I'd grown a second head, a look I returned in full force. I'm pretty sure anyone would have at least a few misgivings about a man and a woman sharing a room at night.
Well, if I can't protect you from outside, then I need to be in the same room.
He tilted his head in contemplation. I don't really understand his logic, but then again, I'm not a cop. Well, if it doesn't bother you, then I guess it doesn't bother me either.
I see.
Hey, a CG! Delightful. Let's take a look at that. You're just gonna stare at me in that chair all night? Delightful. As I climbed into bed, Red sat down on a chair near the window. You're going to sleep there?
Yes. This puts me in an ideal position to respond to any danger.
It doesn't look comfortable.
I'm used to it.
Will you let him sleep by the window? Invite him to bed? Give him a blanket? Change the subject, change it quick! Okay, so he's like a rational guy. But I also feel like we need to tease him into relaxing, because he's so stiff. That's kind of what we've been doing. What if he said yes, though? Oh my gosh. I'm so curious. Curiosity killed me. I am a little nervous because in Cinderella's route anyway, it was like one answer and you're dead, basically. Well, I guess the wizard can come in here and scold me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna invite him to bed. Yes? Wanna join me? I pulled back the covers on the empty side of my bed.
That sort of humor is inappropriate for a young lady.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't joking, though.
That only makes it worse.
In that case, here.
Ugh.
That's a good way to do it, actually. It's like, be super ridiculous, so then the blanket is a middle ground thing. So he's like, okay, well, at least I'm not having to sleep in the bed. What a cute little sheepskin. It's kind of what it looks like. I got up and pulled one of the blankets off my bed to give to him instead.
But then you might catch pneumonia.
Believe it or not, I've never even had a cold in all my life. I was lying, of course. Squint.
I appreciate the gesture, but I'm afraid I must decline.
Oh, come on. You already have it. He pushed the blanket away. Well, then come join me in bed. They really ought to have a name for this archetype. I dub thee Frigidere. Well done, girl. I approve. Who's going to protect me if you freeze to death in your sleep? Wait, I get it. This is one of those scenarios where I have to warm you up myself, isn't it? I clapped my hands in understanding. And a split second later, Red had wrapped himself up in the blanket. Nope.
The blanket will be fine, thank you.
Aw, darn. I shrugged and crawled back into bed. The Frigidere. He's blushing now.
Thank you, Miss Arisu.
No problem. Lying down in bed, I continued to chat with Red for a bit. Today was pretty uneventful, huh?
We mustn't let our guard down yet. There's no telling where, when, or how the culprit may strike.
Like an assassin?
Yes.
You're a cop, right? What sort of criminals have you gone up against over the course of your career? Just so we're clear, I'm only asking about your track record so I can build a sense of trust with you.
I don't really remember.
Really?
Yes, really. After so many cases day in and day out, they all blur together.
Wow. I raised my eyebrows in surprise. Then I noticed him staring at me. What?
Nothing.
He averted his gaze for a moment, then glanced back at me.
I've been wondering for a while now. Are you not afraid? The wolf is essentially a stalker based on their actions thus far, and now they've escalated to sending you a blackmail letter. Aren't you afraid of what they might do to you?
At this, I laughed. Of course not. After all, I've got you. A brief silence fell between us, until I broke it once more. Tell me, Red, how do you think I feel about all this?
You appear to be enjoying it.
I laughed nervously. Well, I can't pretend it isn't kind of fun. This kind of thing doesn't happen every day, you know?
I see. I was worried I was being a nuisance to you.
Same, actually.
Though I realize my intrusion is necessary on some level, I do find it most regrettable.
Don't be silly! You're protecting me, after all. And like I said, I really appreciate you being here.
You do?
Yes, I do. And that was where that conversation ended. After a pause, I decided to ask a different question. You know, Red, ever since I got that blackmail letter, I've been thinking, maybe I ruined somebody's life.
But you can't think of anyone.
Right. If I could, I would have told you about it by now. Tell me, Red, what is sin to you?
Sin. It's when you break the law.
So committing a crime, in other words. Well, I definitely don't recall doing anything like that. Oh, but I've been known to tell little white lies on occasion. If I'm late for school, sometimes I tell the teacher my alarm clock was broken.
In that sense, I have sinned as well.
I guess most people would have, really.
Agreed. There are limitations to the laws we can enforce upon people. Otherwise, we would infringe upon their freedoms. It depends purely on the severity of the crime, the weight of the sin.
And the heaviest sin would be to murder someone?
Who can say? According to the government, the most severe would be treason.
Oh, you mean like inducement of foreign aggression? In other words, the crime of secretly communicating with other countries in order to start fights. Also known as warmongering. War doesn't pick and choose its victims. Can't say I'm a fan, personally.
It seems you know your stuff.
I giggled. How do they decide the severity of each crime, anyway? I probed for his opinion.
I imagine it scales with the severity of the damage caused, give or take the reasoning behind how and why the action was carried out. That's why we have these laws and regulations in place. It establishes an existing framework to work within.
I see. So the antonym of crime isn't justice, but laws and regulations?
Perhaps so.
I see. So that's your outlook, huh? I ruminated on this for a moment.
You certainly think about some complicated topics, don't you?
You think so?
You shouldn't think too much if you want to fall asleep in a timely fashion.
Will you stay awake with me until then?
Of course. I'm here to protect you, after all.
You mean it?
Yes.
You won't be nervous?
I strive to act rationally at all times.
I see. Well, for the record, I'm pretty nervous.
Rest assured, I won't let them lay a finger on you. Now get some sleep.
That wasn't what I meant. Okay. I'm counting on you. Night-night! I slowly closed my eyes.
Good night.
In the darkness, his voice was gentle, guiding me to slumberland. I'm wondering. I mean, we haven't gotten very far in the story yet, but I'm a little sus that Eureka has set up this whole wolf stalker thing. But for what purpose, I have yet to determine. I'm trying to figure out if she has known this guy from before and is trying to like reacquaint herself with him potentially. Like I'm very sus that Kaguya is not around. Now granted, this could be a whole different world where Kaguya is not our servant and we just live alone in this giant house by ourselves for reasons. But I wonder if Kaguya is masquerading as the wolf in order for her to have this bodyguard, but I don't know why. I'm just a little sus is all. We'll see what happens. Morning already? I sat up and stretched as the morning sun streamed in through my window. I looked in the direction of the light and realized that Red was gone. Red? I got out of bed and opened the door to find him standing directly in front of me in the hallway. Whoa! I jumped back reflexively.
Good morning, Miss Arisu.
Good morning, Red. You startled me. I clutched my chest.
I apologize. While you were sleeping, I was checking for any unusual activity.
Oh. Good work. I tied my hair back in a quick ponytail so I could wash my face. Oh, I'd love to see you in a ponytail, girl. That would be a long ponytail. Then I felt his gaze on me and turned to look. What?
Nothing.
He awkwardly averted his eyes. Do you like her in a ponytail? Hmm?
Tell me, Miss Arisu, what are your plans for the day?
I'm going to school.
I see.
So we go to school. Okay. Humming to myself, I opened the fridge and took stock of the ingredients I had on hand. For breakfast, we can have eggs and toast, plus leftovers from last night. Then I just need to put together 3 dishes for the packed lunches, and we should be good to go. I quickly launched into meal prep.
I didn't take you for a heavy eater.
Huh? Red called out to me as I was plating the finished food. His gaze was fixed on the 4 boxed lunches sitting on the counter. Oh, the lunches? No, there's no way I could eat all of that.
So they're for other people?
Yep. Does that make you curious? Want to know who? I grinned.
Yes. Part of my job is to maintain an understanding of your interpersonal relationships.
Well, 1 is for me, and 2 of them are for... my friends, I guess you'd say.
You guess?
Well, 1 of them is a friend, and the other one... it's hard to explain. Anyway, the last one is for you. I thrust out my chest proudly. He stared back at me dubiously.
You went out of your way to prepare my portion.
Of course. Don't you want it?
I have my canned rations.
If you don't get some variety in your diet, you'll give yourself high blood pressure from excessive salt intake. A balanced diet is critical for someone with a job like yours that requires a lot of physical stamina. Otherwise, you won't have the energy to combat the bad guys. I rattled off all the excuses I could think of to keep him from getting a word in edgewise. The point is, your well-being directly benefits me. Does that make sense? I love his little side, think, and then he turns back to us. That's so cute.
Understood. I shall gratefully accept this gesture.
Yay! The time flew by, and before I knew it, it was time to leave the house. At the front door, I put on my shoes, then turned on my heel. I'm going to school now!
I shall accompany you.
Oh, right. I'd temporarily forgotten about the 24-hour surveillance thing. He wasn't my personal butler or something. He was a police officer. This isn't going to be one of those things where you walk into my class wearing a school uniform and the teacher introduces you as our new exchange student, is it?
Oh, I see. An undercover investigation. That's a novel idea. I shall acquire a school uniform and fill out the paperwork at once.
You're joking, right?
Absolutely not.
He said this with a perfectly straight face, too. How old are you? And am I going to college if I'm 19? Let's think about this for a minute. Do you realize how long that paperwork will take to process? Once again, here I was having to explain something to Red. It's just not worth it over 1 measly blackmail letter.
We ought to take every precaution.
I understand how you feel, but think about it. You're clearly a grown man. There's nothing undercover about this. With all the unwanted attention you'll attract, the culprit is bound to notice you immediately. I was desperate to keep him far, far away from the school.
You're right. It would be unnatural for me to accompany you as a fellow student.
See? There you go.
Which is why I shall have them hire me as a substitute teacher.
Oh, not the substitute teacher. Now you're cooking with gas. I shot him the finger guns. Pew, 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 pew. Oh my god, what does he look like? What? Who? Hello, classmate in lowercase letters? What are you? Why do you have a giant mitt paw? I like that we're getting stalked by somebody called the Wolf, and we never thought about this guy. Alright, well, hello, new character. A cop? Yep. For reals? For reals? I went too far. Blah. Go back. Well, we met our Ryuji. Dude, that's totally badass. Lunchtime found me in the school courtyard. As we ate, I told my buddy all about what was going on. His name was Wolf. Spelled with 2 O's and an E, apparently. There's somebody called the Wolf who's stalking me. I can't think of anybody that would fit that description. Okay, good job, us. So, where's he at? Your cop friend, I mean. He bit back a laugh as he spoke. No clue. He did tell me to give a shout if ever I'm in danger. In the end, we decided against the substitute teacher thing. Drat! Mainly because it was ridiculous. Oh, but it would have been so cool. So, like, how are you holding up and stuff? What do you mean? Come on, dude. After everything you just told me, I'm hella worried now. What if your crazy stalker forces himself on you? Relax. Not gonna happen. I waved my hand dismissively to said stalker. You sure about that? You're a pretty girl, you know. Oh yeah? Go ahead, butter me up. Mirror, mirror on the wall, you're the hottest of them all. Ain't that the truth? We exchanged a high five. Very good. I like it. So, what's the story with the cop? What do you mean? Well, what's he like? He's weird. Oh, and ridiculously attractive. Heyo. Gotcha. Wait, what? So he's hot? More like ice cold. Oh. This seemed to dampen Wolf's enthusiasm quite a bit. Or so I thought. Then he grinned. So you're trying to smash that, eh? Are you trying to smash that? I just knocked over all my figurines on my desk. Well, in the hopes that he's close enough to hear me. Hell yeah. Yeah, right into the wall. Oh, that kind of smash? And then I'll dump him in the pool. Splash. And then I'll have to hide the body somewhere safe. Stash it? And then I'll probably get bored and go read some boy-on-boy fan fiction. Oh, slash! Haha, very funny. Not. I'm talking about getting it on, you dorkwad. Oh, right. Silly me. I clapped my hands over my mouth and batted my lashes. Faker. This is what I love about Wolf. He knows how to play along. It's not really about hooking up with him or anything like that. I just want to get to know him better, that's all. That's all, What, you don't believe me? Are you sure there's nothing else? You mean physical attraction? Yeah, like, real talk, straight up. Do you want the D or not? Now when you say the D, Wow, what is this game? Every time I think I've like hit peak in this game, and then it just keeps ramping up from there. It's amazing. I don't know what world I'm in, but I kind of love it. Good thing I wasn't drinking my tea just then, or I'd have spit it out all over myself. This really isn't the sort of conversation we should be having in public. My bad, my bad. Just think of it as like gossiping on the phone with your gal pals. But we're not on the phone, and you're a guy. Oh, so you do see me as a guy. Hell yeah! Yeah, I do, Mr. Stalker. Of course, what else would you be? You're a pet! Not helping. Shake, boy! Oh, amazing. Woof, woof! Gah! You got me! Okay, let's get this conversation back on track, shall we? Okay. Good grief. You need to start trying a little harder or you're gonna miss your big chance. What do you mean? You, the damsel in distress, pursued by a spooky stalker. Him, the ace detective assigned to your case. This is like Hollywood material, my dude. Think about it. You're right, this really does sound like movie material. Although I can't help but notice you put question marks on part of it. Nah, bro, you're imagining things. Uh-huh. Let's go with that. My point is, there's no way this thing is ending platonically. You think so? You bet, dude. Ever heard of the suspension bridge effect? Right. That's supposed to just be temporary, though. And mixed signals don't really count, if you ask me. You dweeb! Mixed signals are all part of the game, my dude! Look, if you're serious about this, I'm down to help a sister out. You're gonna help me? What, you don't believe me? No, I believe you. It's just... Oh, please. Keep acting like you're a sweet little lamb and some wolf's gonna come along and gobble you up. Mm-hmm. You're saying men are all beasts? I tell ya, whoever first came up with that saying is a genius. Does that mean I'm in danger right now, sitting here alone with you? Oh, I get it. 'Cause I'm a wolf. Get it? Guilty as charged. Oooh! He raised his hands up in front of his face, pointing his claws at me. Eek! Save me, Mr. Huntsman! I leaned back in faux fright as I joked. Chomp, chomp! He put his arms around me. Huntsman? Wait! Wait, time out. Time everything. Time everything out. What? Who are you people? Is this gonna happen in every route where I just like meet a bunch of new people? Or is Red a special case? Because, like, I met all the other love interests in Cinderella's route, except for Red. And now in Red, I'm meeting, like, all these other boys that are not love interests? It's so weird. Hello, Mr. Huntsman. Okay, I assume Wolf is our friend, and Huntsman is, like, the one we're like, well, it's hard to explain. Okay, I'm in for this. Let's fine. Let's figure this out.
What did I just walk in on?
An annoyed voice rang out, interrupting our little game. Oh, hey, he actually showed up! Sup, Mr. Huntsman? Wolf jumped to attention, straightening his posture. You see, Mr. Huntsman is one of the hunters who works here. What is a hunter? Somebody start explaining this at some point. His real name is Ryoshi, but I'm not allowed to call him that at school. Okay. Fun fact, Ryoshi means hunter in Japanese. Our parents weren't very creative. Wait, is this our brother? No. I thought our brother works. Oh, wait, they did say that he works here as a hunter, so he is working. Are she implying, like, her canon name of Yurika? I gotta look this up now. I'm so confused. Hello, Mr. Huntsman. I greeted him formally.
Hey. You two ever think about taking school seriously for a change?
Sick burn, Hunter the Hunter. Aw, come on! We've got good grades! Yeah! We exchanged a playful glance. Wearing his usual resting grump face, Mr. Huntsman sat down next to me and took a small rectangular item out of his pocket. You know you're not allowed to smoke, Mr. Huntsman. I snatched the pack of cigarettes away and put a lollipop in his mouth instead. Nice reflexes. Though he was a talented hunter, he had a poor grasp of social etiquette. Good grief. Try to be more considerate of your students. Some people are sensitive to the smoke, remember?
Oh, sorry. Bad habit.
He rolled the lollipop around on his tongue as he spoke. Oh yeah, so wait till you get a load of this, Mr. Huntsman. Arisu-chan has a crush on this guy, and he's... Shh! Shh! I hastily clapped a hand over Wolf's mouth.
Oh yeah?
You don't care at all, do you? What the hell, man? You don't care about some guy getting it on with your little sister? So that's our brother? I have my friend, and then there's this guy. It's complicated to explain. Okay, so you have a smoking vice like dad. Good to know. Well, okay, we met the brother. Delightful. Wolf pushed my hand away, his eyes sparkling with curiosity.
Pipe down.
Ouch! Hearing Mr. Huntsman's disinterested response, I heaved a sigh of relief. Wolf, he doesn't care about my love life. Just like I don't care that he goes through girlfriends like underwear. Oh, dang!
For the record, I do care a little. I'm a hunter after all.
I stared at him, wearing my most threatening smile.
Look, Yurika.
Just then, the bell rang, signaling the end of our happy little lunch period. Whoops! Time's up! Gotta go! Fist pumping internally, I jumped to my feet. Meanwhile, Mr. Huntsman gave me a look that said, I'll let it slide for today. Yeah, we'd better go. You okay? Are you coming down with something? I rubbed Wolf's back as I spoke. Sorry. Just choked on my own spit. Thanks, though. Well, okay. Maybe have some soup when you get home, just to be safe. He was a sickly child growing up, and to this day he would frequently fall ill. I'm all better now. Anyway, thanks as always for the great food. He grinned like it was nothing. Anyway, see ya! See you later! And so we waved goodbye.
I am on my way, honey, hubby, phone down, never put down. Mama, gonna go, here is a kid with